wildest dreams, you would never expect this to happen.
Almost a year ago, Dave Ayres had an experience that transcended hockey. But 16 years earlier, fate nearly intervened to keep that moment from ever happening.
I was 25 when I first found out. I was just doing a couple pro camps here and there, and the last day of one of my camps, my feet were so swollen they wouldn't fit into my skates. And then eventually went to the doctors and my blood pressure was extremely elevated and they sent me to the emergency. Next thing you know, they're telling me you need a kidney transplant.
He was extremely lucky that his mom was front and center at wanting to get tested and becoming a match and donating her kidney to him. And he knows that this would not have happened if it wasn't for her.
You know, at 25, 26 years old, it's tough because you think, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Am I ever going to be able to work out again? Can I play hockey again? Am I going to have a normal life now? What's it going to look like going forward?
Luckily for Dave, his body accepted the new kidney. Eventually, he met his future wife Sarah and her 3 kids, Avery, Braden, and Colton, and the 5 became a family. And then the lifelong goaltender made a fateful career change.
I took a job at Ricoh Coliseum, and I think a few weeks in, they had a couple of players that were shooting on empty net. So I thought, you know, bring my gear in and they could shoot on me instead of an empty net. And the guys liked it. They wanted me to be there and kept asking me to come out. I guess they trusted in me and asked me if I would be one of the emergency goalies for them.
I told him it was because he married me, because it was the day after we got married that he got the phone call. We were planning a move. He got a job offer in Alberta and we were planning to move out there, and we looked at each other and said, you've got to take this.
Here comes Matthews. Turns around, fed the puck in front. The goaltender's down, wiped out by his own man.
Boy, that's a little bit of a slow get up there by James Reimer. Mrazek, who played last night, gets right back in.
So what happens is when one goalie goes down, his phone will ring. And Dave's looking at his phone. There's nobody's calling. Nothing's happening.
2 minutes later, I get the text message, all right, let's go. You know, get down here, put your gear on.
He grabs his equipment, say our goodbyes. He goes off. I go back to my seat.
Mrazek well out! A heavy collision! And Mrazek is down!
The crowd went nuts and everybody started yelling. And I looked up and I saw Mrazek laying flat on the ground.
I'm sure every Hurricanes fan is thinking, is Mrazek okay? Because the emergency goalie would have to come in the hockey game.
I was sitting in a little back room, and then all of a sudden I get a text message. A few of them come in, they're like, get in there, you're going to do awesome. And I had no idea that Mrazek even got hit.
Mrazek will head off to the room, and the emergency goaltender, coast to coast hockey night in Canada, will take center stage here.
When I was in the locker room, James Reimer, who was hurt, came up to me, gives me a big hug. He's like, man, you're going to have a lot of fun. Just go out there and do your thing.
I think I pretty much just said the puck's the same size, and that's the same size. You know, it doesn't matter how many people are out there. You've been playing this position your whole life, so just kind of go out there and trust it, you know, have some fun.
How about this moment? Oh my goodness. What can be going through your mind right now?
I saw all the people going through the tunnel. The first thing I thought was, don't fall, don't fall. Everybody just went crazy when I went on the ice. I think it was just a buzz of, who is this guy?
David Ayres, the emergency goaltender. He's from Whitby, played some Junior B, and here he is in a National Hockey League game.
To be quite honest, I always thought it was going to turn into probably a pretty ugly show. You know, it's tough to just all of a sudden roll out and you're in an NHL game.
All the Carolina players that were there, they were all excited. They're like, yeah, let's go. They were awesome guys. And they just came down to me and they just kind of tapped me like, let's go, let's have fun.
David Ayres' wife Sarah in the building tonight. Understandably, she's been freaking out.
I was so scared for him. I grabbed the one guy beside me and I said, that's my husband. And he's like, no, really? And then he proceeded to tell everybody in front of him.
What a night this has been. 3-goal cushion for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Now if you're Leafs, get everything to the net.
Tavares turns, he shoots, he scores!
Honestly, I was a little bit heartbroken when the first one went in.
Barry with a shot, knocked out, score! In goal!
Absolutely crushed when the second one went in. And at that point, I was like, you know what? Whatever's going to happen is going to happen out of this. I'd be lying if I didn't think another 2 or 3 goals would have gone in. You saw him standing there and he was tense, and I've never once seen him in net where he's been tense.
And what a start here. Every player coming back, giving him a tap. Difficult position to be in.
I said to the guys, just get me to the intermission. You know, I can settle down and get back into it a little more. And I made, I think, 1 or 2 saves there. And we got to the intermission, and I said to them in the locker room, you guys go out and score 1 more goal, I'm going to hold the fort down. We're going to win this game. And they kind of looked at me all weird, like, who is this guy? What's he talking about?
We as a group knew we had to do in front of him, and he felt confident in his game going to the third, and the rest is history.
Matthews with a shot. Ayers with the save. Ayers makes a lovely save off Zach Hyman. Puck's up for grabs. Ayers is down, and he snatched that into his glove. And David Ayers, I'm sure, can't believe what's happening to him right now. Keep the puck, David. You've just got a National Hockey League victory.
All the Hurricanes came out and they started jumping. They were happy for him, and that was what was exciting. These guys get their moments all the time, but this was his moment, and they made it the very best they could for him.
Everyone's dream as a hockey player is to play in NHL, and no matter what age or whatever moment, you always want that chance, and we were all just so happy for him.
That hour and a half of time that he actually got to play is going to live on forever. And I think that's what's so special about it.
It's literally, what movies are made of, when you watch all those hyped up sports movies, that's the feeling. And so, again, pretty cool that you got to live it.
As soon as I came back out, when they told me I was going to be first star, I thought no one's going to be in the stands. Usually in a Leaf game, if it's a tough loss, everyone clears out real quick. So when I got out there, I saw 3/4 of the rink full and everybody was standing. I wanted to kind of take it in, and I wanted to skate a little bit further. Then everyone's kind of rushing me back into the room, and everyone went crazy, and they're pouring water all over me, and they're jumping all over. And Rod Brindamore was just telling the guys how great they played and the fact that we just won that game.
That's a memory that I'm going to have forever. The way you guys played that third period for you, okay? Awesome. And the way you played for us.